Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Tasmania has broken another unwanted COVID record with 466 new cases. Health authorities are putting the public on alert after finding a growing cluster connected to a festival in Launceston. The wave of cases now also forcing changes to contact tracing in the state.
Jacob Morris has spent the past 3 days in bed battling COVID.
I had fevers, massive aches and pains, and just hit me really hard. And then, just trying to sleep. It's not easy.
Unsure exactly where he got it, but testing positive just days after attending Party in the Apocalypse.
It may have been the toilets where you could probably get it from, where you're washing your hands on metal sinks and that kind of thing, and especially at the bars as well. A lot of people touching the stuff there.
Despite organisers' best efforts, including mask mandates and double dose vaccination requirements, Public Health says 25 positive cases now can be linked to the festival.
Look, there's certainly significant transmission that's occurred. We understand at least 5,000 people have attended each day.
Those who attended are being asked to monitor for symptoms. Today's case figure a new daily record at 466. Active cases are climbing towards 1,700. Hospitalisations have decreased to 2, with both patients admitted for other conditions.
Home is still the vast preferred treatment setting for those who have tested positive and who have mild to moderate symptoms.
More high-risk locations have been identified. 2 cases recorded on board the Coral Discoverer cruise ship.
They've now departed the boat and are being managed, and the remaining passengers and crew will be tested today before determining next actions.
11 aged care facilities have now been exposed to COVID. A second Northwest home is now headed into lockdown, Penguins Coronia Park. The soaring caseload further straining health testing and tracing.
Please contact the Public Health Hotline if you cannot obtain a rapid antigen test, and we'll direct you to a distribution point in the south, north and northwest.
We've got people receiving a positive COVID test and then having to wait several days before they get any contact from the health department. This does not seem like things are going to plan.
To solve those delays, contact tracing is now being modified. Positive cases will receive an automated text, not a phone call, and they'll be able to reply with their close contacts and condition. But the Premier is calling for calm, with the health system currently able to cope.
What we're seeing occur are high numbers of cases, but relatively mild disease.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A number of businesses around the state have made the decision to temporarily shut their doors after staff members were exposed to COVID-19. But the Premier has labelled the move as extreme, urging operators not to take public health into their own hands.
Open at 7 a.m, closed by 7:30, taking a rain check on regular service after a positive rapid antigen test result from a staff member.
Following that, we thought we'd be cautious and contact all the staff that had worked with her for longer than 4 hours. That did take out quite a lot of our workforce.
Set to reopen tomorrow after a subsequent PCR test returned negative.
But a lot of our regular customers are elderly and immune compromised, so we're very wary of exposing them. So that's why we're treading cautiously and we're acting ahead of the public health advice.
Many now taking similar action. The Cascade Brewery bar shut following a case, a close contact leaving the Bridport Cafe empty, and T42 left without enough staff to open. But the Premier has taken aim at another popular Hobart restaurant. Barwa announcing a temporary closure yesterday, slamming the government's handling of borders in the process.
What does concern me is that if businesses decide to take public health advice into their own hands and close their business for no good reason.
Defending their stance today.
I had to close down because we did have enough staff to meet shift requirements and operate as we normally would.
Backed in by the opposition and the Greens.
The Premier needs to stop criticising Tasmanians for reasonably trying to protect themselves and being concerned at the rapid increase. It is a better business decision for some of those businesses now to close their doors altogether than to risk their staff being exposed, to risk customers being exposed to COVID in their venue.
While the Taste has seen an uptick in attendees, numbers dropping on previous days following a rise in COVID cases in the community.
A bit quiet, India. Yeah. I think maybe.
The Jack Jumpers meant to be a draw card to today's event, bowing out due to COVID protocols, but free entry on the final day served as a last-minute incentive to entice patrons.
And that's definitely made a huge difference for us in terms of revenue.
People who probably were a bit hesitant at first as well, and then have realised that it has actually been like a beautiful open-air event.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Police have nabbed more than 1,200 people on our roads over the festive season. The majority were caught for speeding. The number of drink drivers down on last year.
The holiday season was headlined by 2 fatal crashes and 6 serious injuries on our roads, but police have also been busy behind the scenes over the past fortnight.
Over 1,200 infringement notices have been issued during that period.
The bulk of those were for speeding. 937 drivers were clocked going over the limit, plus 34 drink drivers were pulled over. 39 people got behind the wheel with illicit drugs in their system. 85 drivers were nabbed for inattentive driving, 49 for using a mobile phone, 32 for not wearing a seatbelt, and 6 fines were handed out for driving while disqualified.
Any of these figures are disappointing. It's disappointing that people are out there still doing the wrong thing with all the messaging that we are giving in relation to road safety.
The COVID climate has made it hard for police to compare these figures to the previous year. They say the reopening of Tasmania's border means there is more traffic on the roads, and with that, the potential for more infringements to be handed out. Still, the number of people caught driving while drunk or on drugs is slightly down on last year.
We really urge people to, pay attention every time that they're on the road, so that when they are on the road that they're arriving at their destination.
As the saying goes, better to be late than dead on time. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Launceston had the state's high today, reaching 27 degrees. Burnie and Devonport both reached 21, Hobart 19. Maximum temperatures were generally 1 to 4 degrees below average, with Ouse recording a top of 24 today. Flinders Island and Friendly Beaches both 23, St Helens 21, Maria Island, Grove and Strawn all 19. Looking to the skies with low cloud over the north and east of the state, becoming patchy this afternoon. Zooming out, we can see a band of cloud to the northeast of the state, a spiral cloud off the Queensland coast associated with ex-tropical cyclone Seth, and some thunderstorm activity about the north of the mainland. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure will move across Tasmania from a high south of WA. On the waters, southeast to northwesterly winds reaching up to 25 knots in the north, swells to 3 metres in the west and south. And there's a strong wind warning in place for the central north coast. Taking a close look around the grounds now, a possible shower for Hobart tomorrow with a high of 18 degrees. Adventure Bay cloudy and 17, Tarraleah 19. Launceston, a shower or 2, 23 the top. Devonport and Bridport, both cloudy and 21. A cloudy day for Burnie and Strawn, both expected to reach 20 degrees tomorrow. A shower or 2 for Marrawar. St Helens, cloudy with a top of 20 degrees. Swansea, 19, and a possible shower for Whitemark. UV, extreme 11s and 12s. Taking a quick look ahead to Wednesday, light showers expected mostly about the east, south and northwest of the state. Thursday, morning rain about the northeast and central areas, extending statewide through the afternoon. And Friday, more isolated rain with thunderstorms and possible heavy falls about northern parts. Further north tomorrow, a hot and sunny day for Perth, fine and partly cloudy in Adelaide and Sydney, cloudy conditions for Melbourne, and a shower or 2 in Brisbane with a top of 32. And finally, here's a look at the current conditions. Kim, that's all in weather. Back to you.
And that's all your news for this Public Holiday Monday. Thanks for joining us. Good night.